Senator, welcome back to Meet the Press. Boy, I have you laughing. I assume it's dark comedy.
Why did I agree to do this? Yeah.
Well, because you're a glutton for punishment, sir.
Okay.
Anyway, welcome. Let me start here. Look, the president said that Russia was on his mind when he was making this decision. How concerning is that to you when it comes to him admitting that was among the things in his mind when he made this decision to fire James Comey?
Well, I think we need to have Comey come before the Judiciary Committee and clear the air. Did the president ever say anything to the director of the FBI that would be construed as trying to impede the investigation? The president called me about the firing, and he referenced the Comey testimony last week in the Judiciary Committee about how bad it was. So that's all I know. But I think it's time to call the FBI director before the country at large and explain what happened to that dinner. And if there are any tapes, they have to be turned over. You can't be cute about tapes. If there are any tapes of this conversation, they need to be turned over. I doubt if there are, but we need to clear the air there also.
Look, let me put up that tweet where the president put the word tapes in quotes, so we don't know quite what that means. But did you think that constituted a threat to Comey?
I think it was inappropriate. I think it requires somebody like me, a Republican, to call Comey before the Judiciary Committee to let him explain that conversation. Right now, I do not believe President Trump is a target or subject of any investigation regarding collusion with the Russians. That's what I believe. But this tweet has to be answered. I would advise the president not to tweet or comment about the investigation as we go forward. The Russians did interfere in our election. I don't think they changed the outcome. I have no evidence of collusion, but the president needs to back off here and let the investigation go forward. We need to call Comey and get to the bottom of all of this. And I think it's time for an FBI agent to lead the FBI. When you talk about a new person to lead the FBI, how about an FBI agent who is above reproach?
Why do you think it has to be an FBI agent at this point? Why not a U.S. attorney, somebody prosecutor, somebody like that?
It could be a lot of people, but how about the idea of an FBI agent leading the FBI, promoting within the ranks? There's so many good agents, men and women out there capable of leading the agency. This is up to the president. He has a duty and obligation to pick somebody beyond reproach, outside the political lane. I think he'll do that. I hope he'll do that. I'm ready to move on and pick a new FBI agent. I'm ready to get to the bottom of what Russia did. I have no evidence the president colluded with the Russians at all. Nobody on the campaign that I know of has colluded with the Russians, but we don't know all the evidence yet. We need to continue forward and protect these investigations.
While we're staying on the FBI director, 8 people interviewed yesterday at the Justice Department. One of them is a colleague of yours, Senator John Cornyn. 2 were women, could be the first woman to ever head the FBI. You had a former FBI agent and a former member of Congress. Let me ask you this. In this political environment, do you think it's the right time to have the first ever FBI director who had a elected political background, which is what it would be if either Mike Rogers or John Cornyn were named?
No. I think it's now time to pick somebody that comes from within the ranks or has such a reputation that has no political background at all, that can go into the job on day one. You know, who does the FBI director work for? To me, it's like appointing a judge. The president actually appoints a judge, but the judge is loyal to the law. The president appoints the FBI director, but the FBI director has to be loyal to the law. John Cornyn is a wonderful man under normal circumstances, would be a superb choice to be FBI director. But these are not normal circumstances. We got a chance to reset here as a nation. The president has a chance to clean up the mess that he mostly created. He really, I think, did his staff a disservice by changing the explanation. So I would encourage the president to pick somebody we can all rally around, including those who work in the FBI.
Let me ask you something about the Russian interference. Later in the show, I have an interview with the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson. I conducted it yesterday. And he would not give an explanation as to why the issue of Russian interference wasn't even brought up during his meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov. We go back and forth, and not once was it thought of as a top priority. Can we move on in a relationship with Russia if we don't confront them on this?
Absolutely not. I don't know if they privately talked about it, but Secretary Tillerson did a masterful job in the UN Security Council talking about the threat of North Korea. I understand wanting to engage the Russians in Syria because they're part of the solution if we ever find one. But here's what I believe. I'm 1,000% certain that the Russians interfered in our election. It was the Russian intelligence service that hacked into Podesta's email, the DNC, to create chaos. They did try to undercut Clinton. I don't think they changed the outcome. And I do not believe we can go forward as a nation until we punish Russia. I have bipartisan sanctions against Russia for interfering in our election, and my goal is to put it on the president's desk, and I hope he would embrace it. Russia didn't change the outcome of the election, but they sure as hell tried. And I want to punish the Russians, and I hope the president will see their interference as a threat to our democracy.
I want to talk about the investigation. We're just out of the field. NBC News, Wall Street Journal poll. I got to put up this number here. I'll read it to you. I know you don't have a screen. Who should investigate Russian interference? Only 15% think it should be you folks in Congress, Senator. 78%. So that means it's a bipartisan group of people would like to see an independent commission or a special prosecutor. Do you understand why the public doesn't trust now the politicians to do this?
Yeah, but here's what I think about the investigation. Right now, it is a counterintelligence investigation, not a criminal investigation, so you don't need a special prosecutor. I trust Deputy Attorney General Rothenstein to do this. If he gets to the point that he can't do it and it becomes a criminal investigation, we'll have a special prosecutor. An independent commission takes it outside of Congress. I think the Intel Committee, the Judiciary Committee, we're doing a good job, so I want to keep it inside the Congress. I'd like a select committee where we all work together, but right now I see no need for a special prosecutor. It's not a criminal investigation. I see no need for an independent commission yet.
All right. Well, you, though, have called for a special counsel a number of times during the Obama years for the Clinton emails.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes.
For the Department of Justice supposedly targeting reporters, leaks.
That's true.
White House leaks of investigation, the idea that Joe Sestak might have gotten a job offer in exchange. My point is, why did all those meet the test for a special counsel, but this one doesn't?
This is a counterintelligence investigation. We're not investigating a crime yet. If it becomes a criminal investigation of the Trump campaign colluding with the Russians during the election, and Mr. Rothenstein doesn't believe he can do the job, then we'll have a special counsel. There's a process in place. I'm not worried about polling. I'm not worried about anything other than trying to get the right answer. The Russians did it. They need to be punished. Trump's not a target of the investigation yet. Leave this investigation alone. Congress is doing a good job, in my view. If it gets to the point we can't, then we'll take it outside of Congress.
You are been looking at the president's finances. The president has made a big deal that he sent you a certified letter from his accountant, which all that means is you signed for it, and that's fine. But why does it in this case, shouldn't you want to see the tax returns from one of these LLCs that run a golf course? For instance, there's this report out there in North Carolina that the Trump National Golf Course may have been financed with Russian money. That's not going to be in the president's tax return. That's going to be in that LLC of Trump National in Charlotte that has that. Are you going to be able to get your hands on those records?
I have yet to find any evidence of improper business dealings between the Trump organization and Russia regarding the election or anything else. However, if you can show me there's reason for that, there's a suspicion of that, then we need to get financial documents.
But have you seen those records?
Ask for documents unless I have a reason. But the president should turn over his tax returns. He should do that. I don't have an reason to subpoena him. If I get that reason, I'll do it. But he should turn over his tax returns. He should do that now. All
tax returns, not just his personal, but these LLCs? Because that's where this could be. It's not going to be in his tax return if there's anything there.
If you can show me that we need to do that, I will do it. I can't say on television, based on your question, that's a good idea. But I'm open-minded to all things Russia. The bottom line is I think Russia tried to affect our election, undermine our democracy. I want them to pay a price. I've yet to find collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia. There's a Washington Post story that Comey went to Burr to get more agents and more money. That's not true. There's a lot of things being said that that are true or half-truths. Let the process work. I promise the people of South Carolina, the people of the United States, I do care about this. I've got nobody to punish and nobody to reward other than get to the facts.
Senator Lindsey Graham, I hope you don't regret coming on now. But anyway, I appreciate you coming on.
Happy Mother's Day.
That's the most important message there to say. There you go.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Well, let me